Hello, welcome back to another episode of Charla Football. I'm your host, as always, Gerardo, and with me I got Tomas. We're going to be reacting to the Mexico national team roster for the CONCACAF Nations League for the semifinal match against Canada. And before we get into everything, make sure you guys subscribe, follow, check out all the platform links down below. Tomas, thank you for hopping on. We got a list of 23 players, no more than 23. I think we talked about this a few weeks back when the list did originally come out. I know it's been I think it's been about a week since the list has came out, maybe a little longer. But we classified it around, I think we said 7 or 8. I don't remember. What did you say last time? Like 7?
I said,
8?
I think it was 8. So we'll
Yeah.
put it at 5.
Yeah. I'm probably gonna bring it down after like this week and a half to let it marinate and sit and really think about this team that we're going to be facing up against in Canada. We have to remember this is Canada's probably best roster, best generation. They went to the semifinals. And then, I mean, with these guys that we currently have, will it be enough to beat Canada, make it to the final? I mean, I don't know. It's very iffy. Normally, I feel like in years before, it was always like an outright yes. Oh yeah, we're definitely the best team on paper, and we're going to be the best team on the pitch. But therefore, in this situation, it's just been the other way around. So let's start off with the goalies first. I think the goalies is where we're most secure. Angel Malagon, who is no doubt going to be the starter and needs to be the starter heading into the World Cup. And then we have El Tala Rangel and then Carlos Moreno, the Pachuca goalkeeper. I'm very happy with the two other goalkeepers, but we already know Malagon's going to be the starter, right?
Yeah.
I don't think there's any surprises over there. I think, obviously, the biggest surprise is Ochoa being excluded. He is in a relegation battle in Portugal. I don't really know what the excuse would be as to why he would be left out or why he was left out, other than that he's not in Basco's mind, at least for the Nations League. Maybe looking towards the Gold Cup, I'm pretty sure he's going to call him up, depending
Hopefully
on this
not.
form too. I know he hasn't been horrible. I know I saw like a few weeks back he made a mistake. I don't know how dire it was towards like the relegation battle that they're currently fighting for. But I mean, in the few games that I saw recent, I think he played against Porto, if I'm not mistaken. I think it was Porto or Sporting, and he made a few good saves too in that game. But yeah, Ochoa is definitely one of the biggest misses in this roster. But I'm not honestly,
Hopefully.
I'm not hurt by that. I'd rather not see him on the roster. I don't know about you.
No, yeah. I mean, his time's over. He's like pushing 50. He better give his wife some time. If not, he's going to get divorced like Pep.
Yeah, no, he needs a time off. He needs to be with his family. Focus on being a father. He just needs like forget about football. Just retire. We'll be good over here, Memo. Don't worry about us.
Yeah.
All due respect, he's a great goalkeeper, but yeah, for goalkeepers, we're very well protected. Even in the defensive area, where we're looking at guys like Johan Vasquez, who's been in the form of his life at Genoa, possibly will move to the Premier League or even to Juventus. We'll see. I know Juventus definitely need a good center back like Johan Vasquez. Cesar Montes, who honestly I haven't heard too much of. I think they've been on like a winter break over there in Russia, so they're barely coming back. It's probably been a few weeks since they've been back. Ramon Juarez, who I think absolutely needs to be there, has been one of America's best center backs. Same thing with Israel Reyes, who is very versatile. He can play right back or center back, so he's a great squad player to have. Gallardo, who I think we already know he is the best left back, probably the only left back that we got that's pure quality going forward defensively. He has his question marks. Rodrigo Huescas is one that I'm very happy that he's there. I thought when he played against Honduras in the return leg in Toluca, I think he was incredible. And at Copenhagen, he's doing very well. He's a starter over there. He just played against Chelsea. He played a great match. I think he was probably only one of the only players from the Copenhagen squad that's probably you can say played a good match against Chelsea. He scored as well to get Copenhagen into that quarterfinal against Chelsea. Angulo, that's another questionable one. What would you say about Angulo? To be honest, like defensively, he's a good player, but going forward, I don't think he offers you too much.
I mean, the only thing I can say about Angulo is un tipazo. He's a good human being. He's a great person.
But
Um,
footballing aspect.
I mean, he defends very decently. He attacks with.
Bro cannot say a good thing about Angulo.
Yeah. It's because I look at him and I see him. I see any other left back in the MX.
Yeah, he's
He's
not one that like stands out, right?
exactly like Rodrigo Huesca stands out because the way he goes forward, the way he's able to push the ball forward. And I mean, defensively, Angulo is more secure than Rodrigo Huescas, but that's the sacrifice you get with a player like Rodrigo Huescas, that he attacks very well, but he's not always able to defend at the same level that he
Yeah,
attacks.
I wouldn't be worried about the defensive structure. I mean, actually, well, in the game against Canada, I think I should be worried, especially on the right hand side. Rodrigo West is going to be coming up against Alfonso Davies realistically, unless he switches Davies to the right wing, but I don't think that's going to happen. So that's going to be a tough fucking battle for Rodrigo Huescas. But I'd rather have Huescas there, someone quick, than Angulo playing out of position, or or Israel Reyes too. Like I don't know about him playing right back against Davies.
Yeah.
And then lastly, the last defender, technically he's a midfielder. He's probably going to play midfielder, is Eric Lira. And that player that I highly rate. He played very well in the recent international friendlies against Internacional and against, against River Plate, no one really played that well. But against Internacional, I think he showed that playing alone as a six, he can do very well. I think also alongside Edson, he'd be a great compliment to Edson, especially since we'll get into the midfielders right now. We know Edson's going to be there for a fact. He's picked up in form with West Ham. I don't think there's any denying that. But his typical like six or typical partner that would be with him in the midfield would be considered Luis Romo, someone that can do that dirty work, box to box, like midfielder type of role that Romo typically plays. But honestly, right now at Chivas, he hasn't stood out. He hasn't. I don't know. I don't think he really deserved the call up. I think there could have been other midfielders we could have put over there. But what do you think about Romo's call up?
It's expected because of the time that he has there.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, seniority rules, especially in a team like Mexico, they really prioritize the seniority rules. So I'm not surprised, but I mean, there's better sixes in the league. You have Marcel Ruiz, you have the one from León, Fidel Ambris, younger.
Well, he's at Monterrey now.
Well, I mean, Monterrey now, but
Montiel could also play that 6-8 role.
Montiel is just like the only thing that I don't really like about Montiel. Well, not that I don't like about him, but that doesn't compare in any way to the other two players. That he's about like what 5'7",
a little smaller.
So Rom was kind of that midfield presence. Trying to not allow the ball to go towards the defender, and for that you need height. You need to be able to clear the ball.
Yeah, I think that's the only thing that Romo can beat out on most of the other midfielders on this list is his like physicality. Like, he is a bigger body. He is a lot taller as well. But yeah, I mean, you already have Edson there. I don't think you need someone just like Edson in that role. We need someone that can create. Lira, in my opinion, would probably be the best suited partner for Edson in the midfield. I don't want to see Charlie Rodriguez playing, and we know he's in this list, but we don't even have to get too deep into that because I think if you guys watch the show, you already know that our opinions on Charlie Rodriguez are very low. Our thoughts on him are very low. Same thing with Luis Chavez or Orbelin Pineda. I mean, I think their call-ups are just useless at this point because there hasn't been a single moment that kind of fills me with like, oh yeah, these guys have to be there. They are living off of glory in the past. In 2025, I don't see why these three players should still be getting called up, in my opinion. I mean, I think Vasco and Rafa Marquez probably see something different that we don't. But shit, from what I see on the field, both in person, on the TV, like it's the same. And then all three of them, they do not impact the team going forward. They do not impact the team going back in the defensive structure as well. Like the only thing that I can say about Luis Chavez is at least when we have a set piece, he could be dangerous. But that's pretty much it.
I mean, think about it. You have about 3 set pieces per game. Luis Chavez has a goal ratio of like 25% chance.
That's possible. We could see him score a free kick banger in one of these matches, or in this match against Canada, which could be like the deciding factor. Like in a game where there's going to be a lot of fouls, it's going to be sloppy. You're going to have a lot of set pieces in your favor. It could be possible we see Chavez on the end of maybe a goal, but like, come on, like I don't know. Maybe there could definitely be somebody else, somebody better, especially in that midfield. That's where I feel like, and I've put this on my socials as well, where I think Mexico was just so poor. It's just that midfield position, just no one that stands out. There's no world class players. There's no, not like we've always had, world class midfielders, but at least someone to make it real different. The only like desequilibrante type of players that we have are on the wings. And I think that's where our main focus is gonna be in this Nations League against Canada. Because we get to the forwards, we see Chino Huerta, we see Efrain Alvarez. It's one of my, I think, the best call up that we have. Because I mean, with Cholos, he's been whatever, but that's because Cholos have been incredibly poor, even worse than Santos, and that's fucking poor. But Efrain Alvarez, whenever he wears a Mexican national team shirt, he's very consistent. Pio Alvarado, even though with Chivas he's been kind of mid as well. I think with La Selección he can do something different. Hopefully, Alexis Vega, we already know he's in the form of his fucking life. Same thing with Quiñones. Raul Jimenez has been in the best form since his injury, and then Santi Jimenez, while hasn't been scoring in the recent matches, when he first went to Milan, those first 5-6 matches, he was detrimental for Milan's success in those first few games. Right now, Milan's kind of iffy as well, but overall, going forward, I think we got these players in the best moments in their career as well. I mean, Cesar Huerta just scored at the weekend, or yeah, just literally scored yesterday, and it was a good goal as well. So, I mean, we need these players to translate that form into the national team, and I think they will, and I hope so.
Yeah, I mean, look, our best our positions where we have the best depth is definitely goalies first.
Yeah,
Defense and forwards are decent. And midfielders is just, I mean, I see Edson Alvarez there, but then it's just like the other four stooges. I mean, it's like, I don't know.
the atrocious four. I don't even know what they need a nickname. Those four like need a nickname. The Four Stooges is a good one.
The four stooges, I guess. I mean, I don't know what a
Dumb, dumber, and dumbest.
I don't know. I don't know how Charlie Rodriguez gets in every time. I want to know what Charlie Rodriguez has on the Mexican Federation.
He has to have an insider. I've said this some like on social media, but like he has to have somebody working on the insider. Like he's blackmailing someone in the federation. Bro is always getting called up by any coaches there. So I don't really understand that. But let's talk about some of the people that. Oh, sorry, go.
Now he could be playing in Expansión and he still get called up for some reason.
No, he could be playing in like the Premier MX, which is the third division, and still be getting called up.
He could be
But
playing and get called up.
so he could be playing Sunday. Is that what you said? Sunday leagues?
Yeah.
Probably, bro. You could be like 40, somebody getting called up, bro. That's how far deep he is into this federation. I think he's always in there. But anyways, I mean, it's not like we have so much more to offer, but we kind of already alluded to them, like some Montiel, Marcel Ruiz también. In the midfield specifically, even Gilberto Mora, even though those two players, Montiel and Mora specifically, we know they're going to be going with the under 20s because they're preparing for the under 20 World Cup. So I kind of understand why they're going over there, build chemistry with their under 20 teammates, prepare well for the World Cup. Because I mean, who wouldn't want to win a World Cup even if it's the under 20s? I mean, of course you want to represent the Mexican national team there. Henry Martin was also another one that was left out, and I think rightfully so. You already have three strikers in Quiñones and both Jimenez's.
Thank the Lord.
What were you gonna say about fucking Martin?
I mean, he's what, like 35, 36?
30, I think 33 or 34.
I feel like if you're above 30 and you're getting called up to the national team, you better be playing in Europe.
Yeah,
that's the only way. Because if you're not a promising player, and you're like, let's say the best of the best of the MX, you're not going to be able to compete with the best of Canada unless you're playing in Europe at the age of 30 and on. If you're 26, 24, 25, and you're getting called up and you're in the Liga MX, it's decent because you're young. You still haven't even reached your full potential, which is usually 28.
Mm-hmm.
That's about it. I mean, Henry Martin's 34, 35, young age, like playing in Liga MX, like not going to cut it versus Canada.
Hey, but he's a top goal scorer for America, though.
Congrats. I mean, it's the difference with America and the Selección Mexicana is in the Selección Mexicana, you're not going to get the help you get in America. You're not going to get the refs. You're not going to get all the VAR calls. You're not going to get anything like that. So, I mean, rightfully so.
That actually I agree with, too. I mean, like I already mentioned, Quiñones and both Jimenez is already there. You don't need a fourth striker, especially for technically what could only be one match. Potentially 2 matches, but you don't need fucking 4 strikers for that. Same thing with the goalkeepers. I don't think you need 3 goalkeepers for 1 match, but anyways, you could have probably brought another midfielder in that regard. Someone that I think also could have been there was Castillo from Chivas, and I think he played incredibly well in the friendlies when they played in South America. And then, I mean, overall with Chivas, I think he's always been one of the most standout defenders with Chivas. So I think he's probably missed out.
Castillo's definitely Chile's most reliable player. He always shows up to play. And the thing with having the thing with Gallardo, I like how he is. He's just older, so I'd opt out for Angulo because I also like Mateo Chavez. He's more of a wingback as well. He's very similar to Rodrigo Huescas.
Mm-hmm.
But
That's actually a really good shout.
On the opposite side, I mean, he's young, yes, but I mean, give him a try. We already know what Angulo can bring.
Right? No, I completely agree. I completely forgot about Mateo Chavez, but there's a reason why people from Europe, AZ Alkmaar specifically, PSV, are looking at him. So just give him a chance.
Yeah.
But anyways, let's move over a little bit into the next part of the show. I want to look at our predicted lineups, what we think, both you and me, that Vasco and Rafa Marquez are going to come out against Canada, and then what we would prefer. So predicted and preferred two totally different lineups that we're probably going to see. So Tomas, I'll start with you. Who do you think he's going to start, and what positions or what lineup he's going to go out with?
I feel like it was leaked that there was a high probability of going with one striker.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm probably gonna say either a 4-3-3 or a 4-5-1.
Okay.
But I'm gonna predict a 4-3-3 because he has used that before. So I'd probably go. He's probably gonna start Malagon. His center backs will probably be Vasquez and Montes, just because of seniority and how we've seen it a lot.
Yeah.
And right back is tricky because he's went Israel Reyes and then he's went Huescas. He had a lot of how would I say? Huescas was the better winger or wing back in that scenario, but he was playing a 3-5-2. But I'm thinking it's gonna be a 4-man back, so I'm gonna go with Israel Reyes and left back Gallardo.
Okay. All right. Now in your three in the midfield,
it's probably gonna be Alvarez.
Mm-hmm.
It's probably gonna be Romo and Charlie, bro.
That's atrocious midfield. I'm sorry. Oh my god. And
this is what I think he's gonna come out with. I'll tell you what I would have preferred, but
yeah. But no, that is true. Like no matter who you put in that midfield, it's gonna be Edson for sure. But it could be Romo Charlie. It could be Charlie Chavez. Like all of it sounds atrocious, bro. In the midfield.
Maybe Lira. Maybe the best scenario of that would be Edson Lira and Pineda.
Maybe. But that's more preferred.
Hopefully.
You said realistically he's going to be Edson, Charlie, and Romo, right?
Yeah. And
going forward?
On his left wing, he's probably going to utilize Chino Huerta since he's playing decent in Belgium. Mm-hmm. The right wing, he's probably going to have... I feel like the wingers are going to be Cesar Huerta and Julian Quiñones.
The wingers? Quiñones on the right or Quiñones on the left?
I mean, he's played on the left before, so I'm assuming the left, and then Huerta on the right because he is playing on the right side in Belgium. Well, he's moving around a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And then for striker, Raul Jimenez. And although I think Santi Jimenez has more promise in recent time, well, at least in the Vasco era, it's been Raul Jimenez's striker, and he's played fairly decent. He got the win versus the US as well.
Yeah, I would keep Raul there. I mean, he just scored against Spurs too, so.
Now I would.
Was he against Spurs?
Yeah. He scored against. I thought it was a white team, but he kind of like puts it on the bottom right corner of the keeper.
Yeah, I don't remember. Yeah, he like chested down in the box. It was a good finish. I forgot what team he played against, to be honest. Yeah. But yeah, Raul. Okay.
But now my preferred would be. I mean, Malagon, Rangel, and Carlos Moreno in goal. I'd go with Malagon just because of seniority. We've seen what he was able to do versus Honduras. I'd go with 3-5-2, preferably. I'd go Vasquez right center back, Cesar Montes center back, and then my left center back would probably be.
Oh wait, you said Vasquez at right center back or left center back?
Left center back.
He's left footed. He's left footed.
It's just he's played on the right side as well, but that's going forward. So in this scenario, I'd probably use him as a left center back, Cesar Montes center back, and my right center back would be. I either go Israel Reyes or Ramon Juarez, but
probably because Israel is probably more used to like that right center back, right back role. I probably put Reyes too.
Yeah,
I'm over here putting what I would think for you. My bad.
Oh yeah, but I mean it's true. But my right wing back would be Huescas, and my left wing back, that's where it gets tricky because he didn't bring a player for that position.
Yeah, it's only one person.
Yeah, I mean I just really have just I have to go with Angulo in this one, I guess.
All right. Your preferred is Angulo. All right.
There's nobody else that I could put at left wing back, but
Or
I
Gallardo.
mean,
What do you mean?
I could have Gallardo there. You're right, but I prefer Angulo. Yeah. So Gallardo there, and then
Your 5 mid.
I would play a more offensive midfield. You know how it's usually 2 6s, 1 10. I'd probably go 1 6. I have Edson Alvarez there, and then my double 10 would be. Well, I don't have a lot of options. I'd probably go double 10 with Pineda and Alexis Vega.
That's risky, putting a big guy down the middle, but it could work.
But
right.
like, I have Vega more of instead of a 10 role, have him more as a shadow striker, kind of behind the 2 9s.
Behind. Mm-hmm.
And then Orbelin Pineda kind of just maintain the midfield, touch the ball around, don't shoot at all at any cost, don't shoot, touch the ball around.
Don't shoot, please.
Don't shoot, please.
And then the 2 strikers.
My 2 strikers, obviously Santi Jimenez and Raul Jimenez.
All right,
I feel like that's a decent lineup.
Yeah, that's I think better than what would be realistically presented in my opinion. I'm gonna go with my realistic prediction lineup. I'm gonna go Malagon, of course. I don't think anyone can take that away. He's the best Mexican goalkeeper. He just made six saves against Atlas the other day, and he has some crazy saves too. So yeah, Malagon is in great form. Keep him there. Vasquez, left center back. It's gonna be 4-2-3-1 because that's what he's been playing. 4-2-3-1 with Johan Vasquez and Cesar Montes as the 2 center back pairings. Right back is gonna be Rodrigo Huescas because I really don't see Reyes like really fighting with Davies on the right hand side. I don't see him with the same speed that Rodrigo Huescas has on the right hand side. So I think Huescas is the only one that can really compete, I guess. Huescas at right back. Left back has to be Gallardo because I don't really trust Angulo on the left back position. My 2 midfielders, the 2 6s in this scenario would be Lira and Edson Alvarez. I think that's what he would go with because I think he does have a lot of preference for Eric Lira. Lira actually started in the last match against Canada. I don't know if you remember, but Lira was there in the midfield. So yeah, Lira was there. Edson, I think, would probably be there. And then as the 10, that's where it's just tricky. Maybe Romo to have more presence in the midfield because he can get up and down. We know that. That's gonna be Pineda. Between Romo and Pineda, I think those are the only ones that I feel like he would use in the midfield. I'm gonna go for Pineda just because he's more of a natural number 10, so I think he'd probably go with a natural like number 10 like Pineda. And then the 3 up front, Chino Huerta playing right wing. Realistically, I feel like he'd probably start Quinones on the left wing just because he's probably gonna want some muscle, but that's not where Quinones plays his best. And then the striker's gonna be Raul Jimenez. I think for sure.
Yeah.
Now, as my predicted or my preferred lineup, Malagon. Also, I would go maybe like a 3-5-2, especially because we want to have a lot of bodies in the midfield. Because in the midfield, I think where we might get overrun, but especially by Canada. So Malagon and goal, Vasquez, Montes, and I'll go Reyes too at the back. Huescas at the right wing back, Gallardo left wing back. My midfielders, I would prefer Edson and Lira as well as my 2 midfielders, my 2 6s. And then my 10, I would put between Piojo and Vega. I'd probably put Vega because he's in better form. And then my 2 strikers would be Raul and Santi. So we have a pretty much the same lineup. Yeah. I think it is the same lineup. So we have the same idea. Overall, I mean, that's our reaction to this roster, our prediction of the lineups, and then our preferred lineups as well. If you guys want more Mexican national team content, make sure you guys subscribe, like, check all the platform links down below. We'll definitely continue with all the content this week because there's a lot of stuff that's going to be coming out. So make sure you guys stay tuned for more Mexican league, Mexican national team content. We'll see you guys on the next one. Peace out.